Okay. So today we're here to talk about Education USA Academy Connects. We had the first session yesterday, and today we have St. John's, University of Colorado Boulder, and Temple University. This session will be in English. A sessão vai ser em inglês. And I know we have people here from different countries. So if you have any questions and if you don't understand something, you can just send it on the chat box. And also, this session will be available on YouTube, and there's the feature of subtitles and translation on YouTube. So if you want to watch it again, you will be able to. Christina.
Sure.
The floor is yours.
Okay, let me just share my screen here. It would be great if while we're doing this, folks can maybe share where they're coming to us from just in the chat so that we know where everyone is from, because we'd love to see. So hi, everyone. My name is Christina Quartararo, and I work at St. John's University in New York City. This photo is our lovely campus in the middle of Queens, which is one of the 5 boroughs of New York City. Maybe not what you expect when you think of New York City, but nonetheless, that's where we are. And so today I'm going to start the presentation by talking to you just a little bit generally about St. John's University, and then my colleague Paul is going to share with you some specific information about our Education USA Academy Connects program. So St. John's University is a Catholic university. We were founded by the Vincentian order, and what that really means is that we have a history and a tradition of service. We are a metropolitan university because, of course, we are in New York City, and we are also a global institution, and you'll see what I mean by that in a moment. So we actually have 3 campuses in New York City. Queens, which is the first campus, the largest campus that we have, and the photo that I showed you before is that main campus. We have a campus in Staten Island and another one in Manhattan, and our Manhattan campus is very small. We also, though, have a location in Rome, another in Paris, and programs with a partner institution in Limerick. In addition to that, we have lots of other kinds of short-term and partnership programs throughout the world. So when we say that we are global, that's what we mean. At St. John's, students have a lot of options. So for undergraduate students, there are about 100 different majors that students can choose from. And we have a number of different schools and colleges. So students can study everything from biology to English literature, to pharmacy, to law. So their options are plentiful at St. John's for students to be able to study with us. We also have a number of graduate programs. So students who want to not only study for a bachelor's degree can also study for a master's degree afterwards. And there are more than 60 programs available. So I'm going to turn this over to Paul, who's going to talk to you more about what you really came here today to learn about, which is our Academy Connects program. So Paul, do you want to jump in here?
Yeah, thank you very much, Christina. Hi, everybody. My name is Paul Mucciaroni. I'm a recruitment manager for Latin America at St. John's University, but I'm also one of the teachers who leads some of the sessions that are included in this really great program, Connects program. So I'm going to tell you all about it. So the name of our Education USA Academy Connects program is U.S. Higher Education, Knowing Your Options and Finding the Right Fit. So as you can hear from the name of the program, I mean, that's our mission. The mission is to help you figure out what you want from a university in the United States and how to get accepted, how to apply, how to put your best face and your best your best application toward a university in the United States. It can be really complicated when you first start to look into all of the different options you have in the United States. And so that's what our mission is, that we together for The duration of the program will walk you through a lot of different topics that are going to help you to bring it all together and really understand what types of universities you're going to apply to and how you're going to apply to them. So, we're going to talk about, finding a good fit. We're in another session, we're going to really take the application and really examine all of the different parts and all of the different expectations that are required of you as you begin to apply to universities in the United States. So we're also going to talk about how to decide what to study. It's called choosing a major. And, in the United States, it's a good thing because in general, universities are very flexible about what you study and really allow you to change your mind or combine different areas of study. So it's a really important session to give you clarity on making the decision about what you ultimately will study in the United States. We'll talk about all those tests that are required. What is the SAT, ACT, TOEFL, Duolingo? So we're going to really demystify or clarify what is the reason for all these tests and who or what types of institutions require them. A really great part about the program is that a couple of sessions are dedicated to writing and writing skills and crafting the perfect personal statement, which is a really important part of your application to universities. Other cool parts of the program is that there's an entire session that gives you the chance to interact with current international students who are studying in New York at St. John's University. So it's like a question and answer session where everybody in the class will meet current students and we'll just get to ask all those questions that you've always wondered about what it's like to study at a university in the United States. So that really will, that I think that's a great opportunity for you to gain some valuable insight. You also may meet with current faculty and academic leaders in our university. So another great interactive chance for you to ask questions. There will be a couple of sessions dedicated to touring college campuses in the New York City area. So not St. John's University, but other universities that are located in New York. And that also is a really fun opportunity for you to get to know not just St. John's, but to also know other types of institutions. And New York is a big city and has a lot of universities. And then finally, what I want to mention to you is that, the great thing about this program is that you will not be bored. It's not boring, right? So it's not just you sitting in front of the computer, like just listening to lectures, but it's a lot of interaction. Like I said, we have the international student panel. There are a lot of group activities and different ways of learning. And there's a lot of opportunity, not just for group classes, but for one-on-one advisement as well. So, and actually it comes in the form of two types. One is an individual academic writing review. So that is an appointment that you have with an expert in writing who will help to answer your questions and coach you on techniques in writing. And the other one is a one-on-one session with someone like me, with an admissions professional who will really talk to you and will ask you questions about what it is that you want, and really will talk to you on an individual level to see how you can achieve your goals. Next slide. All right. So basically, the way that the program works is that it's open to students ages 15 to 18. It's going to take place, it's going to start on the 1st of June. So it's coming up rather quickly. I can't believe it. The application deadline is just around the corner and it's May 18th. So we're going to be having classes every Tuesday and Thursday, and it will be 5 o'clock New York time. So it should be a pretty good hour for you to be able to connect with us. The cost of the program is $250. However, I must tell you that there are scholarships that are available, and as you apply to be part of our program, you can also fill out a separate application for the chance to get a 50% scholarship. And when it's all said and done, you'll get a certificate of completion. I want you to take a look at this awesome photo. So you can see me in the top corner there. So that's your proof that I really am teaching in this program. And all of those wonderful students participated in this program that I described to you back in February. They're from Argentina, Paraguay, Brazil, and a few students from Central America. So it was a wonderful group and they loved it and they really got a lot of value out of it. So I hope that you apply to our program and that we can see you this coming June.
Thanks, Paul. And yeah, that was really, I
Thanks,
just
Christine.
going to go back to that photo for a second because it's so nice. They really were such a happy group of students and really participated so well. And as you can see, Paul is always energetic and smiling. So this slide just shows you our website where you can find a little more information about the program. You can find our application. You can find the scholarship application that Paul mentioned. I just want to clarify about the scholarship that this scholarship that we're talking about is offered by St. John's University, and the maximum scholarship is 50%. There may be scholarships available through your local embassies, and that would be something separate to pursue. So I just want to make sure students are aware of that. You can see our email addresses here. You can feel free to reach out to us on email directly. And I also wanted to mention, as Paul said, we had many students from the region in our program in February, and I know that they are willing to talk to anybody who might have questions about their experience. I just connected some students today in Peru to some of our alumni. So if you're interested in hearing from a student, we'd also be happy to connect you to a student. So we'll be here. After all the presentations, we'll be here for questions. We'd be happy to talk to you more about our program, and we hope that we'll see, at least some of you starting in June. So. I think, was it going to be Temple next?
Yes.
I think it is us. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Christina. Hi, everybody. And it's so good to see you all here. And I'm seeing you're from all over the place down there in the Southern Cone. That's fantastic. My name's Jackie McCafferty. I'm from Temple University. I'm the director of the Center for American Language and Culture. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Temple and where we are located, Philadelphia. And then Shannon Martin is going to talk with you. She is an instructor. She's amazing. Do you want to introduce yourself, Shannon?
Hello, everyone. This is Shannon. I'm an instructor at TCALC and specifically for our Connects program. So I'm always really excited to talk to students about our Connects and all of our EducationUSA Academy programs, online and in person.
Great, thanks. Okay, so let's talk about Temple in Philadelphia. So Temple University is a global institution. What many people don't know is that we have campuses on 3 continents. Philadelphia, which is on the East Coast of the United States, Rome, Italy, and Tokyo, Japan. So students who study at Temple University have the option to also study at any of the other campuses. Additionally, we have over 300 partners worldwide, which also makes studying internationally very easy at Temple University. The main campus is in Philadelphia, and Philadelphia actually means the city of brotherly love. And recently the city has added and sisterly love to that. So the city of brotherly and sisterly love, and we truly do embody that. As you can see from the map here, Philadelphia is located on the East Coast, almost directly between New York City and Washington, D.C. So it's a great location. We're also very close to the beaches. And this part of the United States is really the busiest part of the United States. There's a lot happening here. The other image you see there is an image of the city from Temple's campus. So it truly is an urban campus. And that building in the forefront with the T is one of our residence halls and the most sought after residence hall because it has a wonderful view. Okay, so Temple University is a public top-tier research institution, and we are ranked in the top 50 of public institutions in the United States. As a public institution, we are also comprehensive, so we have just about every major you can imagine. There are over 39,000 students, so we are large. Over 3,000 international students from over 130 countries. So we are also quite diverse. We've been around for a while, since 1884, so we are well established. And we have 17 schools and colleges. So everything from business to science, computer technology, liberal arts, public health, music, dance, art, architecture, medicine, law, you name it, we have it. And over 600 academic degree programs. And that's everything going from a bachelor's degree through doctoral degrees. Philadelphia has been voted the top US city to visit by National Geographic in 2020, being tucked away between New York City and Washington, D.C. Many people forget about Philadelphia, and I am here to say, don't forget about us. We are an awesome city, and we hope that you all do get to come and visit us when things open up a little bit more. And Shannon will talk a little bit about the in-person program as well as the online. We're the second largest city on the East Coast. If anybody wants to guess what the first largest city is, you can type that in the chat. I think you probably all know. We're home to 15 Fortune 500 companies, so there's a lot going on here. Very diverse culture, arts. We have some of the best food in the country, and we're known as the birthplace of the United States. This is where it all started. And for those of you who love chocolate, the Hershey's factory is only 2 hours away. And we're going to play a quick video for you.
Independence, defined in Philadelphia in 1776.
Put the volume up, Shannon.
Every day. So when we say Temple is part of Philadelphia, we're not just talking a mailing address. We live this city.
Thanks, Shannon. So I hope that video gives you a little taste of the excitement of Philadelphia and Temple and all we have to offer. And I'm going to hand it over to Shannon.
All right, thank you, Jackie. So I hoped you all got a little bit of information about Temple and Philadelphia, but I'm always really excited to start talking about the Academy and Connects because I've been an instructor for this program when we've been online, and I've worked with our students in person over the last few years. So to get started talking about our program, I'm of course a little biased. I love talking about our classes because I'm an instructor. So we have 2 courses in our program. Our first is focused on helping you present with confidence. So in the first course, students will work on developing a presentation on a topic of their choice. Our goal is that you get more confident communicating inside and outside of the classroom. And during the course, you receive feedback one-on-one on your presentation skills and your pronunciation. And then it was such a wonderful experience. I know, as Christina and Paul talked about, we also did a pilot program this spring, and we had such a great time watching the students present at the end of the program. And then in that final presentation, students will receive a whole 2-page feedback form on their presentation and pronunciation skills to help them improve in the future. And then in our second course, students will hear from our university admissions team, our student services team, also from current international students at Temple, so they can learn all of the ins and outs of the university experience. So they'll be able to ask students questions about what it was like to apply to a US university, hear from our admissions team about what's needed to be included in the application, and also get feedback on a draft of your college admissions essay. And my favorite part of the course is where we actually had a one-on-one session where students went into breakout rooms and just had time with current students where they could ask any question they liked about the culture of changing from or moving to a new country, about the application process, and just what it's like to be a student at a US university. And here you can see our 2 program dates. We have one program coming up very soon as well in June, which will take place at 11 a.m. So around lunchtime for you guys. And then our second program in July, where our dates are to be determined. So depending on the students who apply and who join our program, we're going to adapt it and really make sure that students have the opportunity to join us. So just to mention before we get into some more details about the program, I wanted to discuss how we have private tutoring available for students, optional social activities outside of class, which I'll discuss more. And then we do have a scholarship that I want to go into detail about. And our program is $300 with all of this included. So talking about those optional activities, these were some of the favorite parts of my working with the students in the program. We do just want to give students as much opportunities to engage as possible. So breaking the ice, helping them build confidence, design a PowerPoint, and then build up their confidence to present. And as I mentioned, we do have a partial scholarship available to students. If you're interested in our June program, I highly recommend you apply by this week because our scholarship application is due for the first program date, and that's a 50% scholarship for the $300 program fee. But if you're also interested in doing the in-person academy, you can apply this $300 program fee to the in-person academy cost in the future. And here we can see some of our past program students. We had Boyan from South Korea, who talked about her experience learning about American universities with us. And then also Paulina, who talked about, she specifically attended lots of our individualized tutoring sessions. So what we wanted to do a little bit differently today is also give the Connect students online today some one-on-one experience, kind of getting into the classroom as if you were a Connect student. So if you're online and you're interested in participating, and everybody else, including our presenters, if you guys would like to get involved in the chat, please feel free. So we have some questions for you all to see how you do with our presentations and pronunciation course and what you know about US universities. So this is our first question. So take a look at these photos here, and I want you to decide what would make this a better presentation online. Looking at these photos, if these are our presenters, type into the chat, what do you think would make this better? And I'll wait and see if anyone posts in the chat looking at those photos. Paul, would you present like this in number 1?
Certainly not.
All right, I see Carolina type number 1 and better light. The second one needs better light. I agree. How about the first one? What's wrong with the first one, baby? I see a couple, less formal. So informality, good. I like this one. All right, I think we all got to it pretty well. It's getting at that background. So getting prepared for your presentation, making sure you have a clean space in the background, that you're dressed appropriately, you check your lighting. Everybody picked up on that right away. And this is an example of something we talk about in our presentation and pronunciation course. How about another one for presentations and pronunciation? We're going to take a look at one of our staff here presenting for 30 seconds and just decide, how could she be better?
Hi, my name is Alexa, and I'm going to be talking about a fun fact about dance. And in 1988, there was a world record set for longest conga line dance.
All right, so she just presented for us. How could she be a better presenter? And this is Alexa. She's on our student services team, and she did this for us. She's a much better presenter in person and online, but she faked it for us. So how could she be a better presenter here? Type into the chat. What do you think? Okay, Maria said, look at the audience, look directly into the camera. I like it. We're all getting to eye contact. Jackie said, too much. Lots of ums in there. All right, I think we got some good examples. So it's exactly right. We're talking all about making sure you're feeling professional. I like how someone just said, talk slower. So a couple of recommendations for presentation skills: smile and make eye contact, take deep breaths, plan your pace. You want to come across as confident and professional. Oh, and I like Joyce said that too, having confidence. All right, and our last one for US University's course, so you're learning the ins and outs. Take a second and read these two and just say in the chat quickly, is one better or is two better? And these are for our college admissions essays. So as you read through, do you think one is the stronger personal statement or is two the stronger personal statement? Oh, I see a lot of twos coming in. Two is so much better and stronger. Catalina, two. Okay, I see a lot of twos. So you guys are right. So a couple of things that we go into the course and where we help you get feedback and draft your essay. So thinking about, does it begin negatively in the other one? Do you want to work on your grammar and spelling mistakes? Do you include good detail like the second one? And do you stay positive and tell your story? So this is something that we get into strongly in our US Universities course. So thank you guys for participating in this little activity. We hope you enjoyed. We really wanted to get you an opportunity to engage. And these are kind of the beginning basics of what we look at in our two courses. And then as our other colleagues mentioned in the course, you'll receive a certificate at the end of Connects. And also for Temple, you'll receive a digital badge, which is on over here on the right, which you can post on social media, LinkedIn if you have a LinkedIn, and add it to your email signature. And then we also wanted to mention our social media. So if you're interested in participating in a Quizmasters contest coming up, learning more about the center, we highly encourage you all to check out our social media to learn more about our programs and the opportunities for students we have online. All right, I'll pass it back to you, Jackie, if you'd like to close us off.
Yeah, so thank you, Shannon. That was really fun. I hope you've all enjoyed that. And I think if there's one word to describe us, it is definitely fun. You will have a good time online. You will learn a lot. You'll walk away with a certificate and a badge. And then we also hope that if you can come to us in person when that time comes. So thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, you see our emails here. We would love to hear from you directly. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Carolyn, I think you're up.
Yeah, I was waiting for a go ahead, but I guess I will proceed. So hello, everyone.
Go ahead.
Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Carolyn Allen. I represent the University of Colorado Boulder. And so welcome to beautiful Colorado, or Boulder behind me and my background. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about our class for the EducationUSA Academy Connects. So first of all, here is an aerial view of our campus as well as the surrounding mountains. Those are the Rocky Mountains. And again, today I'm going to talk to you about our course that we call Application Ready. And in a nutshell, it is a fully remote course that prepares you to submit strong college applications to the universities of your choice. So here's my contact information and the spelling of my name, although I guess you can see that in my on screen. So to begin with, I'll give you a little bit of orientation for where we are. You can see Boulder, Colorado is almost right in the middle of the United States, a little bit in the west. We're about 45 minutes from Denver, Colorado, and we're about 45 minutes from Rocky Mountain National Park, which is one of the most beautiful national parks in the US. The University of Colorado Boulder is also a really large public institution. I think our previous colleagues were saying that they had 39,000. We have about 30,000 students, 3,100 of whom are international students from about 106 countries. We may have fewer international students right now because of COVID, but that is sort of the average that we usually matriculate. So we have a really diverse community. As I mentioned, we're located at the base of the Rocky Mountains. We are what's called a Tier 1 research university, and that means that our university has very, very high scholarship in research, in sciences, and we have an extremely strong engineering program. That is the one that we're best known for, but we also have very competitive and highly regarded programs in business and the arts, etc. So here are some statistics about the university, about our rankings. I won't go through all of them because we've got a lot more to talk about, but you can see that, again, business, engineering. We're also very strong in aerospace engineering. We have quite a few astronauts, or a lot of astronauts have come through the university either as students or as faculty, and we're also very strong in chemical engineering. So again, tons of options in terms of academics. 4,000 academic courses offered, lots of degree programs. You can explore our website to get more information about that. Another thing that we pride ourselves on is our student to faculty ratio. So we have an average of 18 students to 1 faculty member, which is really nice because you get a lot of personal attention. Oh, I don't know why that's not advancing. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so now let's talk about the EducationUSA Academy. So again, this is just a general description of the program. It's a short-term U.S. State Department program that is for talented 15 to 17-year-old students. Now, this is the description we give for our in-person program. As you will see, as the other universities have said, we are also allowing 18-year-old students in this program because it is fully remote. Now you can see this is one photograph on the right of our students at the end of our last in-person program where they're standing on the top of one of our large buildings on campus, and you can see the beautiful view of the Rocky Mountains in the background. So here's some information about our course for this summer. It is running from June 22nd until July 29th. It is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Right now, we have our course scheduled for 7 till 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time, which is the equivalent of 9 to 10:30 Eastern Time. However, we will probably add another section that begins in the afternoon for those of you who may still be in class at that point. So you'll have the option of taking the class in the afternoon. We will share more details about that very, very soon. Our registration deadline is June 1st, so it's coming up very soon. And the cost of our program is $450 US. Now, here's some information. Of course, you want to know, what are you going to do? And the focus overall is helping you create a really compelling application for US universities. So it includes, first of all, a really good comprehensive overview of the US higher education system and the application process in the US. And of course, that's very challenging even for people who grow up in the US. So I think, it is a really helpful thing to have some assistance with. You will also spend quite a bit of the time in the course creating a really compelling personal essay for your application. And everyone has their own unique story. And we will do a lot of work on identifying things in your background, pivotal moments in your life that you can use to create a really strong personal essay that admissions officers will read and say, oh, we want this person to study at our university. You'll also, of course, improve your English skills and also strategies for the language proficiency exams like TOEFL and IELTS. So depending on the makeup or depending on the language skills of the students that enroll in the class, we can spend more time on test preparation skills or less or more time on the personal essay. And again, that can be changed depending on all of you who enroll. Of course, you will take virtual campus tours for at least 2 universities, if not 3. You'll also have the opportunity to engage with admissions representatives and ask them questions about what they look for in a strong college application. And also, you'll have the opportunity to talk to current international university students so that you know what to expect when you get to a college in the US, because it's probably different than college life in your countries. You'll also have the opportunity to explore scholarship opportunities. We will help you identify schools and scholarships and grants that you can apply for. And also we'll talk about what majors you're interested in and also what universities you think might be a good fit for your academic goals. And of course, at the end, you will earn a certificate of completion for the course. So with previous webinars that we have presented at, some people might not be ready to take the class yet, but are thinking of taking the in-person academy next year or the year after. So just so you have an idea of what to expect in our course, we not only do we have a strong academic program that includes test preparation, work on your personal essay, and also Shark Tank style competition where you create a new company or service that you present in front of a group of local entrepreneurs. So it's like a friendly competition. So there's the classroom work, the virtual campus tours, but then you also get to do all sorts of really fun things that are unique to our area. For example, you can visit Rocky Mountain National Park, go on a hike at Chautauqua, which is this, these photographs here were taken in the mountains right outside of Boulder. So really where we are located is very conducive to outdoor activities. So you do a lot of things outdoors. To go back, of course, fireworks, because this program happens during 4th of July weekend, or it begins then. You'll also go to a Colorado Rockies baseball game. And then we have so many different science installations in the area, because this is a very innovative part of the country. So we have a lot of science oriented institutions, and you will get to go and visit them and learn from professionals in those installations. And here are a couple of quotations from students who have taken our in-person academy. And again, it's about helping students make decisions about their education in the future, and about having a really interesting experience with people from all over the world, and getting some really personal attention from teachers. So if you have any questions about today's presentation, about our university, or about application ready, this summer's remote option or the in-person option, here is my contact information. So I look forward to answering any questions you have.
So I think we're all ready to take questions if anybody has questions. Either in the chat, or you can unmute, show your face. We love faces.
Hello.
And just to be clear, this summer, all of the academy programs are online. So for the 7 schools, there are actually 7 schools, and everyone's offering online programming this summer of those 7 schools. Next summer, we're all hoping that things are much more back to normal and we can offer our in-person academies again. So just to make that clear.
Okay, so we have a question here. Someone's asking, where do we find the information to apply for scholarships?
So for St. John's, on our website, there is an application there for our institutional scholarship.
Yes, and for Temple, I have just posted our scholarship application in the chat. So you can go to that webpage and post your name, a little bit about you, why you're interested in applying to EducationUSA Academy and the scholarship. And for our June session, we'll be reviewing that actually in the next 2 days. So if you're very interested in June, you can submit in the next day or so, and we'll be reviewing that this week.
And unfortunately, we do not offer scholarships for the application ready remote course this summer at the University of Colorado Boulder. And I'm writing that in the chat as well.
So there's another question. Will classes be recorded?
So for our program, the classes are not, students are not able to attend asynchronously. So some sessions may be recorded, but the intention is for the student to participate as the sessions are live.
Yes, that is the same for University of Colorado Boulder.
And that's the same for Temple too. The engagement piece is really critical here. So it just wouldn't be the same asynchronous. That being said, we do record classes so that students attending can go back and review if they need to.
Yes, the same for us.
I have a question. Are all of the programs held on Zoom, or do you have another platform?
For Temple, it's Zoom. And then we also use Canvas student management system for other aspects, course materials and things like that. But the actual meeting is on Zoom.
St. John's uses WebEx, which functions basically the same as Zoom. And you also use Canvas for the actual course materials.
Yes, and we are Zoom for our course meetings and Canvas to manage the course for all the materials and interaction.
I have another question. How is English assessed for each of the programs?
We don't require a formal assessment, so we expect students to have an intermediate level of English. And if during the application process, we think that a student may not meet that level of English, then we might request a video chat just to see, because students need to be able to participate in the workshops. All the workshops are held in English, and they aren't English classes, right? They're classes about the college application process, etc. So, but we don't require a formal assessment, which I know is different from some of the other schools.
The University of Colorado Boulder is entirely, exactly the same as St. John's. We do not require a formal assessment initially, but in interaction through the application process, if we suspect that the class will be too challenging for the applicant, we will request a Zoom conference.
Yes, and for Temple, we're very similar to exactly what everyone has said so far. There's no formal assessment to apply. If there are any concerns, we'll meet with the students to see if it's a right fit. And then what's nice about the presentation and pronunciation course is you do get to develop your English if you are interested in gaining that speaking confidence. But there's no formal assessment required, and we want to make sure that students are feeling comfortable to engage and listen to our speakers for the university life and culture course.
Thank you, guys. Students and parents, do you have any more questions? Hi, Rita. We're just ending the session. They just answered some of the questions. And yeah, we answered everything.
I was here for a while. I just want to thank the presenters for being here. And for those of you parents and students, the Education USA advisors in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Paraguay, and Uruguay, they will be doing sessions also in Spanish and Portuguese. So if you have parents that do not speak English, but would like to hear from an advisor about this fantastic opportunity. And I want to highlight to all of you that if you participate in one of the Education USA academies, you actually come out of it as what we call USG alumni. USG stands for United States Government Alumni. So as an alumnus of United States government, that means that you're going to have access to a lot of perks, 400,000 periodicals from Library of Congress and many other things. So that's fantastic, right? You're in high school, having that in your curriculum, is absolutely fantastic. It will help you whether you're applying for universities, in the future, or to show extracurricular activities, so many things. So I encourage all of you to choose one of the Education USA academies. Take advantage. I think it's I don't like it that we have to do it online, because I would love to have you at one university in the United States in presence, visiting campus. But the fact that we're doing online, the positive thing is the price. It's like getting a scholarship, right? Because the price is quite reduced. So take advantage of that now. And you can actually do it twice. You can do it now online, and hopefully, all fingers crossed, in January of next year in presence. So anyway, thank you so much. Thank you, Victoria, for being a great host, and for all of you, Christina, Carolyn, Jackie, Shannon, and Paul, for being here today. Please go for Education USA. There are office hours for all the advisors in all these countries every single day. You just have to go through either the website or the Instagram or Facebook social media, and you will see. In Portuguese is Plantão Education USA. In Spanish, you have many of the office hours. You can talk to an advisor every single day. Look for us. We'll be happy to help you find the right fit. Abraço, and hope to talk to you very soon. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.